platform guests. I'm deeply honored by this award, and I thank the Treasurer and Convocation for a citation that very generously acknowledged a legal career that was fully lived and truly loved. I now have the privilege of speaking to you, the class of 2008, as you embark on that career. After more than 35 years, I could make a number of observations about the practice of law, but the few thoughts that I'm about to offer, I offer with a sense of humility, and humility tinged with a certain fear and trepidation. You see, I remember very vividly what it felt like to be called to the bar. I was the first person in my family to become a lawyer. I remember the beaming faces of my parents and of my wife. I remember the congratulations from and to my classmates. But I can't for the life of me remember the name of the honoree who spoke to us. Nor do I remember a single word he said. Acknowledging that reality, I offer you today the observations of a witness. Think of it as a testimony of sorts, a testimony that represents my personal take on what it means to be a practicing member of our profession. In preparing to practice law, you've all engaged in a process that's usually referred to as legal training. But I think a better word is formation. It's a legal formation that invariably leads to transformation. From the first moment you begin to study law, you never look at a problem the same way again. And while this transformation may be gradual, the end result is liberating. There comes that moment when you suddenly realize that institutions and offices are no longer intimidating. Rather, they are subject to laws, and you have the knowledge to appreciate what those laws are and the training to know how to make them work. This notion is captured in the first reference to legal training I could find. In 1292, and before I go any further, I have no intention of tracing the course of legal education from 1292 to the present. In 1292, Edward I issued a proclamation to the Chief Justice of that time, Chief Justice Medium, which enjoined him to, and I quote, "provide and ordain at his discretion from every county the better, worthier, more promising students, and those so chosen and no others should follow the court and take part in its business." The notion that those chosen should be ordained to follow the court and take part in its business, in my mind, carries with it the idea of a calling and a vocation. Indeed, we call today and describe it as a call to the bar. But what of this calling? What is it that we're supposed to answer? I do not have a facile response to that question, but I do think both the question and the answer are fundamental. And I make the obvious collateral observation